Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you will find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll also find a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials on that website, and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to press on and complete the final paper of the 2001 past papers for the Grade 1 2015 specimen paper. So if you turn with me to the very back of the book to question 8. And we'll have a look at this final question. So everything is going to be referring back to this little melody here. So we'll shuffle up and down the page as we go. Now, from 2018 onwards, the revised exam syllabus is no longer presented in this format. You're now going to get all of your performance directions and Italian terms presented to you in a multiple choice format. However, that doesn't mean I don't think that it's any easier. In fact, sometimes I think the red herrings that are presented to you can throw you off the scent a little bit. So there's no alternative but just to revise these. And I would just go ahead and have a crack at answering these and give the definitions in full, just because it's a really, really good revision technique. So let's make use of this as a bit of revision and have a go at these. I always suggest you have a go of these, the whole paper or in bits on your own first of all. It doesn't matter if you go wrong. You can always just rub it out and have another go. So let's work through this together now. So allegro isn't quite as quick as allegro. Allegretto isn't quite as quick as allegro. Allegro is fast, allegretto is fairly fast or fairly quick. Or I suppose you could say quite quick. Of course, you're no longer going to need to find the words to describe these. You can just choose which one best fits in the multiple choice format in the new exams. Moderato is a tempo direction, and so moderato, as you can easily guess, means moderate, so we could say a moderate speed, or I guess you could just say moderately. There we go. Now here we've got a very specific tempo direction, and we need to address both parts of this. We need to fully explain this metronome marking. So we need to get the number. We've got 112, and then we need to address the note crotchet beats, or you would say quarter note beats. It's important that you realise it's crotchet beats, not just crotchets, because if a music is made up of entirely crotchets or quarter notes, that's really tedious. It's whatever adds up to that. And then we haven't quite finished because we need to know it's 112 beats, crotchet beats per minute. So you get an exact idea of how fast this is going to go. If you think about it, crotchet at 60 gives you 1 click a second, and so you can tell it's going to be even faster than that. So here we go, carrying on. This is a dynamic marking. Mezzo forte, this is short for, which means moderately loud. Mezzo is moderately or medium, you could say. That will also answer the question. And forte is loud, so medium loud. Now here we have a tempo direction, that's short for rallentando, and it means gradually getting slower. So just keep on top of your revision with these terms. I would group them thematically rather than alphabetically in groups, so anything to do with loud, anything to do with slow, anything to do with fast and so on, and even colour code them if that helps. Just get creative with your revision techniques, because as you progress through the grade you still need to remember these, and we'll just keep on adding to the list. So let's move on. So we're asked to complete the following sentence. Bars 1 and 2 have the same note and rhythm, same notes and rhythm. So we need to look for 2 more examples of where well, I suppose 2 more bars that look the same. So just a little bit of visual recognition here. So bars 1 and 2 look exactly the same as bars 3 and 4. You can see we've got the same notes and the same rhythm. They both look exactly the same. We've even got the same rest. So there we go. So bars 1 and 2 are the same as bars 3 and 4. Now we're asked to give the letter name of the highest note in the melody. So we just need to scan through the music, find the highest note, but just bear in mind what the clef is. So here you can see we've gone up onto a ledger line, and it doesn't go any higher than that ledger line. So the note there is C. You could say middle C to be more specific, but just C will suffice. Now we're asked to underline one of these following terms that best describes how we think bar 3 should be played. So let's have a look at bar 3. What clues have we got? So we've got all of these dots on top of the notes, which are staccato markings, which mean to play detached. And so that is going to give us the answer here, the staccato or detached. Remember, a dot on top of a note means detached. A dot after a note is a timing issue where we increase the note value by half as much again. Pressing on, we get in there. How many quavers or eighth notes is the note in bar 8 worth? So you can either do the maths, or because maths isn't my strong point, I prefer to just diagram that out. We've got a dotted half note, a dotted minim. I'm just going to do it that way just so I don't run out of space, which we know divides into 3 crotchets or 3 quarter notes, because a minim divides into 2 crotchets, a half note divides into 2 quarter notes, and then the dot gives us another one. And so if we divide those now into eighth notes or quavers, we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that this dotted minim, this dotted half note, is worth 6 quavers, 6 eighth notes. Let's see if this is true or false. The upper 4 in 4 over 4 means the number of beats per bar. That's true. The top number tells us how many beats. The bottom number tells us what type of beat. And then the last part of this question is the easy peasy 10 marks, where we're just given 10 marks for copying. So we've got to be really careful that we copy exactly where they ask us. It isn't always from the start, but in this case we're going from the start of bar 1 to the end of bar 3. So be careful we stop at the correct point, exactly as is written above. They even list out for us all the things that we need to remember to include: clef, key signature, time signature, tempo marking, dynamics, and all other details. So literally copy it all down. So I'm going to just map out the bar lines, and I'm going to keep my bar lines aligned with theirs, just so that I don't get carried away, run out of space, or get too squashed. And also I can keep the notes aligned so it's properly spaced, and I won't lose track where I am either. So we're in bass clef, so we want clef, key signature, time signature, tempo marking here. In fact, if you wanted to, just to be sure, just stick your bar lines in as well. It's the bar numbers in as well, next to the bar lines, just so that anything you can do to just help you not get lost. So tempo marking is allegretto, moderato, crotchet equals 112. Do everything you can to get all of those marks. So now we've got to get all the blobs in place. I'm going to do the note heads first. I'll do the dynamics afterwards when I know how it's going to fit under my writing. I prefer to do the note heads, but you can go in any order you like, just so long as you get the job done. I'll put the rest in as I go along. I'm trying to keep reasonably in line with them as well. Oh, don't need that one. Careful there. End at bar 3. So make sure you don't get carried away. So now I just need to put the stems. So those are joined. Use a ruler by all means. Marks will be lost if you're not neat and tidy. If your work isn't quite easy to read, they might misread something. And you could lose some marks that way too, so keep it neat and tidy. That will just go down a little bit to show the notes have descended overall. There we go. So now I need the staccato. You can do that as you go along if you prefer. That's done. Staccato. Again. And then we now also need MF to show mezzo forte. I think that's it. Yep, there we go. That's that question completed, and that's that paper completed, and also that's that booklet of 2015 grade 1 past papers completed. So good job there, folks. I do hope that you're enjoying this. I hope that you've enjoyed working through it. I've certainly enjoyed working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be fab if it's been helpful to you. And please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's been made available to you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.